thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. We have very active lifestyles. It's not all wandering the countryside aimlessly or scaring passing motorists. And we all love a good cup of joe. And there's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. Bold, robust, delicious. It's coffee that can wake the dead. With over a dozen different roasts and flavors, Deadly Grounds can satisfy the most finicky of coffee addicts. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Persons under 18 will not be admitted.
Sorry about that. Hey, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. You're watching Still Toking with. My name is Leo. I'm the monkey behind the keyboard here. We have an incredible show for you as always. And with us, Benjamin. How's it going?
Did you mute yourself?
I did.
Okay. I was just checking. I mean, you know, it wouldn't be a live show unless you fucked something up at the start. No, I'm just kidding.
The last couple have been okay.
No, actually, you've been very good. Very good. No, I'm super psyched about tonight. You know, our guest is an amazing actor, writer, producer, and more. I mean, you know, he's only got one flaw, but maybe we'll get into that later. We chatted backstage about it a little bit, but
you forgot movie reviewer as well.
Listen, you got to leave something for the show.
Okay,
but you're right. Yeah, you're right. He's a movie reviewer as well. So, but he's all that's in the show notes up above or down below. I'm just going to get it out of the way now, Leo.
There you go. Thank you. Jeffrey, why do I put up with this shit?
I have no idea, but I got to do the same thing. Do I still sound like a frog?
No, you're good right now.
I'm good right now? Okay. Well, that's good, because I don't like sounding like a frog. I'll sound like a chicken or something, you know? Sounds more fun. But anyway, yeah, happy Wednesday. You know, it's just actually getting dark now here. That was wonderful. I can't catch up with that hour, but maybe someday. Yeah, let's just get right into this. I've been thinking about ways how I can really fuck this guy's name up, but it's so basic I can't. Let's bring him right in. John Fallon.
Oi. How you doing, boys?
Oi.
Doing well, doing well. How about yourself?
Very good, actually. Great, I must say, great intro, man, to the show. I really appreciated the medal, and so good shit.
Yeah. That's all. That's all the monkey behind the keyboard when he doesn't mute himself or hit the wrong button.
Well, the monkey did good, so don't worry about it.
He did good.
I try.
Right.
So nice hat, John. I like your hat. I want to get that.
Thank
right
you,
out of the way.
Boston, by the way.
Right. We have a good friend that does the Scully caps.
That's what it is.
Yeah, David Russo.
Yeah. It's a Scully cap, huh?
Yeah. Comedian out here in Boston that has his own line of Scully caps. So
they're my favorite.
Anyway.
When you're bald, you got to get creative with hats. And I like East Coast shit, so Scully is my best friend.
You like East Coast shit other than the hockey team?
Well, Montreal Canadiens are East Coast, brother. They're Montreal, bro.
Well, okay. I'll give you that one.
It's
That was
true.
the small flaw I referenced at the beginning, folks. Now we got it out of the way. Let's get right into it. You just released a smash hit film called Break. Tell us a little bit about it.
A break actually is not ready for mass consumption yet. It just had its festival premiere, which, by the way, our lead actor Kevin Internado from City on the Hill with Kevin Bacon won Best Actor, and our actress won Best Supporting Actress at that festival. Alex Lane also won. The festival is called Midwest Weird Fest, so it's the first time like an audience saw the movie, so it's nice. We came out of it with a couple of awards. Right now, the movie is we have offers on the table. That's basically for you people who don't know how this whole process works. You make a movie, and then you try to sell it to distributors who's going to put it out there. So now distributors are seeing it. We got a bunch of offers on the table, and we're at that stage right now. If I had to guess. I think the movie will come out early next year, first quarter, just by how things are going right now. But no, I'm pretty happy, man, and I'm very confident with it, and I hope people enjoy it when they see it.
Right. Now you wrote and directed it, correct?
I co-wrote it with Kevin. I directed it, I produced it, and I actually wound up also acting in it because my first background within the industry is as an actor. So I started off as an actor, graduated as a script doctor, then a screenwriter, then a producer by necessity, and my holy grail was always directing. So this is my second feature that I direct. So I just kept, basically, I do everything. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So pretty
Yeah,
much
I do everything.
Yeah.
I do it all. It says
Fluffer, the whole shebang. I fluff, I do the whole shebang.
Kevin's a good dude. We had him on about 5 years ago for Bad Frank.
Yeah. No, I've known Kevin pretty much around Bad Frank, actually. That's where we kind of met, and he's just, what can I say, man? He's like an amazing actor. And I was really happy for him in terms of, because I saw, when you see the movie, you're going to see like pretty much halfway at the half mark of the movie, he's shirtless the rest of the movie. And, and I was like, as a director, I'm like, bro, you really want to go shirtless, man? That means you can't eat, you can't, he's like, yeah, we're going to go. So, kudos to him. He's a very, once he gets in that zone, he gives it a 1,000,000%. And when people see the picture, they'll see that, it really shows in his performance.
So I know it's on the table for distribution, but are we allowed to play the trailer?
Yeah, you're allowed. Yeah, you got my
allowed
permission.
to play the trailer.
Yeah,
Right.
go ahead.
So why don't you, as the writer, director, actor in this, bring the trailer in for him?
You want me to pitch it? Okay.
Sure.
Hey. Oh, how you doing? John Fallon over here. Here's the trailer, the sales trailer for Break. Enjoy.
Beautiful lake.
It's the best one I could find on such short notice.
No Wi-Fi?
Come on, we can all do without it for a weekend.
Can I help you? I hope you don't mind. I parked in your driveway. My truck broke down.
Oh, you should just stay here and eat with us. Right, honey?
I used to bartend, and I make a special drink that I know you're gonna love. What'd you put in that drink? I'm really sorry about how this is gonna go down. I'm gonna hurt you. And your mom. A real man would just fess up to his sins. A real man!
Everything okay over there?
Maybe you should let him go.
Can't do.
Too bad.
Stab him!
Let's get this party started.
Nice.
Nice.
Right?
It's
Right.
a family
I love-
picture. It's a family picture. Yeah.
It's definitely a family picture. I love the little quick jab to the mother. Pow!
Yeah. Oh yeah. Out
I
of
was
nowhere.
like,
you know?
oh, yeah, this is definitely something I've got to see. It's got a
Awesome.
lot of fight scenes and blood in it.
It's of course a trailer. You know, a trailer sells. You know, the purpose of a
Right,
trailer
right.
is to sell. It's actually a very cerebral film. There is actually a lot of dialogue, which, you know, when it came time to direct it, my first film, The Shelter, with Michael Pare, was borderline a quiet film. You know, a one-man show. I don't know if you guys heard of it or not, Inconsequential, but it was a very different animal than Break. Because Break, there's a lot of dialogue, and I'm like, how the fuck can I shoot dialogue scenes and make them interesting visually? Because to me, filmmaking is a visual medium first and foremost.
Right.
So I did my best with the very little time that I had to shoot the picture, and overall, I'm very happy with it. But yeah, no, it's very violent. It's very brutal, but it's also very intelligent and has something to say. So it's not like, you know, tits and blood kind of movie. It's got shit. It's got shit to say, and it's funny, if I may. You know, the script is the script, and then what we did on Break, we shot it in sequence because it made more sense when you shoot on a low budget in terms of continuity. And also for the actors to, you know, to hit the moment as, you know, their characters go through what they go through. It made more sense to shoot in sequence, but the thing that I did not anticipate that would happen is as we went in sequence, then the last act of the movie didn't make any fucking sense anymore to me. So I woke up like 2 a.m. in the morning and started rewriting the last act of the movie because there was a new subtext that showed up due to Kevin's work, Nick Bailly, who plays Kevin's nemesis, if you will, through their work, where it also became alpha male versus beta male, or beta male pretending to be alpha male. And I love that thematic that just came out organically, you know, just led the whole fucking artistic process. So I'm like, yo, I got to rewrite the ending. So now there's that extra layer of subtext that added to the picture.
Wow.
Very cool.
Now, do you consider that a horror thriller or like a psycho thriller?
More like a psycho thriller. I mean, there's moments as it's hinted at the trailer, but it gets a bit uglier. I mean, the trailer is rated, you know, PG-13, but the movie is a hard R. The brutality, you know, we go pretty high up with it, and also sexual content that's out of line. That was actually my philosophy on the set. We don't have much money. We don't have Tom Cruise, so let's go all in. You know, let's go all in. You know, the violence has to be violent, and the disturbing scenes have to be as disturbing as I could make them, because that's what I got. Those are the cards I got. So let's play them. You know, so that was my rationale.
Well, now how long did it take to film?
14 days.
Wow.
Really? Pretty good.
Dude,
Wow.
no, nuts. No.
Yeah.
I keep saying it. It was a suicide mission. It was a suicide mission, this movie, but I was thankfully really well surrounded by fantastic actors who were on the ball, a fantastic crew, a great DP. So, you know, there's an old saying, what is it? You know, I'd rather go to war with 10 lions over 100 sheep. You ever hear that saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so that's what I had. We didn't have a big crew or a big cast. I mean, it's a contained thriller. We have like 4 main characters with 2 peripheral characters. And my crew was maybe like 14, but they were all warriors. So for me, I'd rather go to war. You know, I had the right people around me. If I didn't have the right people around me, I couldn't do it. And that's, you know, that's the bottom line. Everything came in, synergy, whatever the fuck you want to call it, to make it happen. So.
No, it looked great. You know, I mean, that's my genre right there, the horror thriller. I love a good thriller.
Yep.
You know, and a good thriller to me has to have some violence.
Oh, we got violence. We got violence. We got violence.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the slasher flicks and stuff like that too. But you got to get the thriller, that psycho part of it. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, look, I'm the kind of guy I like. You know, I love Friday 13, for example. It's a guy in a hockey mask. Kids are horny. They're banging. They're doing dope. They're drinking. And he fucks them up, roll credits. I love that simplicity. I love that.
Yep.
But I also love shit that's like Cape Fear, for example, was an inspiration for both Kevin and I, where everything's not black and white, it's gray. You know, the morality of Cape Fear is not black and white, it's gray, because, you know, oh, yeah, you could look at it, Max Cady, like the De Niro character. Oh, he's a bad guy, but he got fucked over and he went to jail, and, you know. So that's kind of like the gray zone is something that I wanted to bring to Break, and Kevin and I, we co-wrote it together. So his input also was very valuable to me, you know, and we both kind of like had a similar vision, you know. It's like, is Kevin's character the bad guy? Not really. It is, you know, so it's not black and white, the movie. The characters are not black and white. There's a lot of shades of gray, which I like. I find that more interesting because it reflects real life. You know, I know people that are great people, but then I find out shit they're saying behind my back, and okay, you're a fucking asshole. But doesn't make, you know, so you know, I don't think that us as people were black and white. We're all gray. That's my perception of shit. Yeah.
Well, and circumstances can create different situations too.
Definitely.
You know, people will react in a way that you wouldn't expect them to, given the situation.
True. Oh yeah, no, dude, my motto of life is: you want to know what somebody's about, apply pressure. Apply a lot of pressure to that person and see how they react, and you're gonna know what the fuck that person's about.
Right.
So I totally agree.
Wow.
So why did
we need to lighten up the tone? You know?
why the fuck did you spell it wrong?
I don't remember how. You know, in complete honesty, I think it was Kevin's idea, and I thought it was a great idea. I thought also for SEO, like, you know, search engine shit. Nobody spells it that way. So when the movie comes out, Break, it'll be everything Break. But in complete honesty, I think it was a mistake on both our ends. And with the offers we have on the table right now in terms of picture, that's the first thing that came up. Are you open to changing the title? And we are. So for me personally, I want to call it just Break, but spelled, the right way. But there's like 5 movies called that. 3 of them coming out soon. So I don't know how that's going to play out, but straight up is the least of my concern. Whatever it's called, you know, hopefully it's not called, you know, Kevin's character is called Jesse, so hopefully it's not called Jesse's Girl, you know, or some shit like that. But yeah, I'm open. I would just call it Break, properly spelled, and you know, that was an instinct I think that Kevin and I had that was wrong, and that happens.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, being in the horror thriller genre type of movie, I'm going to say that you are a horror buff.
Yes, definitely.
And the reason I say that is because you actually have your own movie website called Arrow in the Head.
That's right. Yeah. One of the OGs. Arrow on the Head was founded in the year 2000.
Right.
That's before Facebook, Twitter, all that shit. We won the original websites, and my friend at that time, my good friend, one of my best friends to this day, Burj Garabedian, he had created JoBlo.com in 1998, and I was right out of acting school at the time, and I was doing the audition rounds. I had went to film school before. I knew nothing about journalism, but I was always a good writer. And he came up to me, he's like, "Yo, you know all about that horror shit. You want to start like a sister site to JoBlo.com called Arrow on the Head, a sister site to JoBlo.com." I'm like, all right. And I said, let's call it Arrow on the Head because the Arrow was my nickname growing up. Don't censor me because my influences were, Andrew Dice Clay, Howard Stern, Sam Kinison. That was the humor that does not exist today anymore. Although, God bless Bill Burr and Jim Jeffries. But, humor is being under attack. We're not going to get into that. Don't worry about it, guys. So, and I started this little dinky website, and I would review movies, not because that's what I wanted to do, but because that was the job. And I didn't really think anybody would give a fuck other than my mom. And even she didn't give a fuck. So, whatever. But, my reviews were, very, politically incorrect, a lot of jokes, I wanted to give my thoughts about movies, but at the same time also entertain people. Just, like I said, Dice, Stern, Kinison. That's what I was going for. And surprise, surprise, in about like 3 or 4 months or something, it blew the fuck up. And I did not anticipate that. And then next thing you know, I had a new career path that I never wanted, but it was right there. And I just, kept building off it. So I ran the site by myself, Arrow on the Head, for about 5 or 6 years until we became so big that Burge and I needed to get employees. And I myself, as a film critic, because I never liked that moniker, just because I say opinions and I do, fucking boobies and blowjob jokes doesn't make me a film critic. But
depends on the film.
It depends on the film. Yeah, if it's
Right.
Debbie does the Middle East, yeah, sure. But yeah. So and then I reviewed on Arrow on the Head. If memory serves me right, I retired in 2016. No, actually, even before that, because 2013 or 14, I retired and I directed my first film, The Shelter, with Michael Pare. So, but I'm still behind the site, Arrow on the Head. I don't review movies. I haven't reviewed movies for a long time, and we've expanded into YouTube. So I'll do my shameless plug shtick. If you want like cool behind the scenes stuff about movies, horror movies, go to JoBlo Horror Originals on YouTube. If you want to see me talk shit about movies, my co-host Lance Velchek, I'm doing a shtick a bit like you guys. Go on YouTube, The Arrow on the Head Show. And if you want to see free movies, because that's another thing I started doing with Burj Garabedian and JoBlo, we're licensing films now. And we're putting them on YouTube for free with ads. So it's called AVOD. Go to JoBlo Movies and JoBlo Horror Movies and get your fucking movie on. So there you go.
Right. And you can find that where, Leo?
I think, didn't you mention it already?
I think
YouTube.
In the show notes up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us.
Thank you.
Yeah, go on. It's all on YouTube. YouTube's our...
Yep. And all those links, folks, are in the show notes, like Leo just said.
Nice.
So
yeah, man, I've been kind of blessed and cursed that I've actually worked pretty much every facet of the film industry.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Now, do you have a favorite horror flick?
Oh shit. Yeah, no, I mean, look, for me, the first horror movie I ever saw was the original Evil Dead by Sam Raimi. And the second horror movie I ever saw was Nightmare on Elm Street by 1984 by Wes Craven. And those two movies are really the reason why I started loving horror. Favorites, it's I hate that fucking question. No offense, boys. It's just there's so many.
Well, it's a
There's
hard
so many.
question. It's a hard question.
There's so many, but like I said, I love the usual suspects. I'm gonna try to find something obscure. Lost Highway. I love Lost Highway by Lynch. Not really horror, but there's enough horror to qualify it as horror. I love a lot of early Dario Argento, so that's like Italian cinema, like Tenebra, Opera, Suspiria, whatnot. I love The Crow. I love I love movies, man. Yeah. So it's really hard for me to just pin it down. Halloween, right. Halloween.
Now, what about comedy horror? Do you get into that at all?
Yeah, I mean, you know what they say. Every genre is subjective. Well, not every genre, but horror is subjective. What scares one people doesn't scare the other person. Comedy is probably the most subjective of subgenres because really your sense of humor, like for me, like I said, Dice Innocent, that's funny to me, but then I watch, like rom-coms and shit, that's not funny to me. It's actually painful. I love Night of Creeps. I love Critters. I'm a child of the 80s, man. So I love 80s shit. That's kind of like where I always go back. I love Gremlins. Comedy, horror.
Oh, the big
Waxwork. Yeah, Waxwork and shit like that. Yeah.
No. I mean, my first horror movie was a midnight movie back in the 70s. The original The Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah.
That movie freaked the fuck out of me and made me want to know more about horror.
Yeah, nice.
Right.
That's a good one. Part 2, that's a different story, but because they never really, they never finished it. That's what happened with Part 2, but they lost their funding. But Part 1's pretty solid, pretty disturbing. I thought.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That's what it was. Disturbing. That's a good.
Good
way to
that's
put
a good way to put it. Yeah, disturbing.
The first one's with Michael Berryman, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And the second one too, actually.
He was in the second one, but
Right. Well, they did the remake. What was that?
Alexander Aja.
Yeah.
Which I thought was actually more disturbing than the first two put together. But that's just me.
Well, that's just progression of film.
Yeah. I didn't find it that way because I was a lot younger when I saw that. At midnight when I think I was 14 or something like that.
Yeah.
Listen,
I never even should have been in the theater seeing that movie.
The first horror movie I ever saw was Children of the Corn. It fucked me up.
Nice.
I stay away from churches. I don't go near cornfields. Nope. Ain't happening. Just saying.
Yeah, it hasn't aged well now, in my opinion. The one with Linda Hamilton, it hasn't aged well.
Right.
You watch it again today, it's kind of stupid. But there's still, there's still even Children of the Corn, a movie that I feel is very dated and has not aged well. There are still moments that are very unsettling just because of the filmmaking style of the 80s, which is quite different from the style we have today.
Yeah, and that's what I said by, the film progression. So, Leo.
Yes, sir.
We have to pay our bills.
Oh.
Before we get into anything else, we have to pay our bills.
Get the sponsors rolling? Is that it?
It's an event that we're going to be at in a couple of weeks that, is kind of like a sponsor as well. So, Jeff, you want to say something?
March, let's see, March 25th, 26th. We will be here. Everybody can read it, right?
Oh, my God.
Well, you know what? Why don't I just play the audio ad?
Just play the ad.
Expo presents the second annual Connecticut Cannabis Expo, March 25th and 26th at the Mohegan Sun. Whether you're an aspiring ganjapreneur or looking to get your medical card and grow your own, Connecticut Cannabis Expo has it all. Open to the public.
Come enjoy the lineup of guest speakers and lecturers, covering topics ranging from growing to setting up your cannabis business for success. Learn and grow with the area's brightest cannabis professionals.
Tickets and additional info at expocan.com. That's expocann.com. Expo Canada presents the second annual Connecticut.
Why is it on loop?
I don't know.
What did you do?
I didn't touch it. Didn't touch it this time. Wasn't me. Can't prove it. No fucking way.
It's your back room. You must hit loop.
No, I took it off loop last week. All right, hey, that's where we're going to be in a few weeks, folks. Come on down, check us out. Bill Diamond's going to be in the house as well. He's going to be bringing some goodies. So, yeah, back to the amazing guest we have this evening.
Thank you.
And everybody just went quiet. So, you like I said, you started off as an actor.
Yes,
and you've been in quite a few films.
Yeah.
One of my favorite of all times, even though it was unaccredited for you, was fucking Rollerball.
Ha! Shit, you're going fucking far. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like Rollerball is one of those movies that I don't give a shit when it's on or what I'm doing. I stop
You're talking
what I'm
about
doing.
the Rollerball remake.
No, I'm talking about Rollerball.
Okay, I was in the remake, bro, and the remake's a pile of shit. So.
Oh well, it doesn't say that.
With James Caan.
Fucking show notes.
Yeah, it's a great fucking movie. Yeah, great movie. But yeah, the remake, I was like, whoa, this guy's a fan of the remake? That's weird.
No, forget it.
Well, he is weird.
Next film, fuck that one. Death Race. Let's move on to Death Race.
Death Race was cool. I played a skinhead. Yeah.
So, yeah, tell us. I mean, you've been in a ton of shit. So, come on, somebody else here talk. What the fuck?
Well, it's I've been in a ton of shit, but it's not like pretty much. When I started acting in French actually at first. I speak French. I'm from Montreal, Canada. Alors je parle le français, and I started doing French TV shows, and I eventually had my own show, a variety show where I'm like a host and kind of shit. But I was young, I was dumb, I was angry, so I kind of fucked that up. And then I started to graduate to American stuff. And really, Saw 2 was a big one for me. Mm-hmm. I had 3 or 4 days of shooting, but it did good stuff for me. And 100 Feet by Eric Red, who's the gentleman who who's one of my best friends actually, who wrote The Hitcher and Near Dark, directed Bad Moon, Body Parts, or whatever. He put me in 100 Feet with Famke Janssen and Bobby Cannavale. I had a scene with both of them, and that was a huge thing for me. But I've always, maybe, sometimes I wonder if I would have just stayed an actor and called it a fucking day, just focus all my energy into one thing, who knows where I'd be today. But that's not what I did, because I wanted to write and I wanted to direct. And to get to direct, I had to produce, because producers, I was not having a good experience with people getting my films off the ground. So I figured, let me learn how to get a movie off the ground myself, so I don't have to depend on nobody. So basically, now I'm in my 40s and I've pretty much done everything in this industry, and it's just, that was my road, it seems. That was my road, and I don't regret anything really. Sometimes I wonder this, that, but I just directed my second feature, so I'm doing, a lot of work with Joe Blow on YouTube, as I previously. I'm not going to plug it again, Norris. As I previously mentioned.
Plug it all you want. It's in the show notes.
So hello. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. So it's all good, man. It's all good, man. Life is life,
Now, I was reading that when you first got into the industry, you really didn't like it.
You stole
yeah, because. And to this day, in my 40s, I could tell you it's the same fucking shit, except now I've changed. I've learned to adjust and adapt. I've always been a very no bullshit, straight to the point kind of guy. And that's the complete polar opposite of the film industry, because film industry is bullshit. It's not straight to the point. Loyalty. I say this all the time to anybody who'll listen to me. I know, bikers, or people that are, in organized crime, that have more values and loyalty than people in the film industry. The film industry is a bit like, to me anyways, my experience within it, is the same thing as scumbags, but without the repercussions. Because, when you're running with bikers, you're running with, people that are connected, and somebody fucks you or fucks them, legs get broken, things happen. in the film industry, the same things happen, but there's no repercussions. So it keeps happening and happening. Oh, bring me to court. Yeah, because everybody's got, X and X amount of money to sue your ass. No, they don't. So, yeah, the film industry is organized crime without the repercussions. That would be my best description of it. And it took me a long time to adjust my personality to it. That makes sense?
Did you succeed?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. To the best of my ability. Yeah, I mean, at first it was a bit rough, but I'm so not saying shit. But yeah, at first it was a bit rough, but I learned as I grew, and as I went along. So now today, no, I get it. I know how to navigate it. I know how to, I know how to live within it, if you will. But at first, in my 20s, even early 30s, and I came from a different world than this world. It was tough. It was tough for me, definitely.
That's his answer, and he's sticking to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a very, you know what, is the only industry that I know of where people will throw their mothers under the bus to make something happen. Because it's so difficult.
There's other industries that do the same thing.
I'm sure there are, but I'm speaking from my own, personal experience, because it's so hard to, unless you're a butt boy for fucking Warner Brothers or New Line or whatever, like the big boys. Unless you're under the umbrella of the big boys, if you're working independently or anything, it's so fucking hard to get something off the ground. That people get conditioned that whatever, man, I'll do whatever. I could do so many dirty jokes right now that I won't do, but that's where it gets, and I've seen it. And not only have I seen it, it's happened to me where people that I considered to be friends, brothers, betray me for what they thought was going to be, money or this or that or that. And of course, it always goes the other way, but. So it's tough business for a person like me to navigate. How about that? But I'm done all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you seem to be. I mean, you fought your way through it. You learned as you went.
Definitely.
Now, would you prefer writing and directing over acting at this point?
Acting for me is a vacation. That's the way I look at it. Because I acted in 2 Westerns. Actually, the first thing I did after the pandemic was do a Western. The second I was set free from my prison was show up here, and my good friend Alexander Nevsky, during the pandemic, he's an action star. He's a producer as well. A great guy, solid guy, bodybuilder. He was like Mr. Universe. During the pandemic, I would talk with him, and I would talk with Kevin, and I would talk with Matthias Hughes, the guy from My Come in Peace, the alien, Dark Angel. I don't know if you guys know the movie. And we would help each other to stay sane, during, 3 years of imprisonment. And Mr. Nevsky was developing a Western. It's like, dude, when the pandemic's done, we're going to do a fucking Western. I'm going to put you in it. And I read the script, gave him my notes, whatever. We support each other in it. Mm-hmm. So the moment the pandemic, the pandemic didn't end, but the moment the vaccines were available in Canada, and we got the AstraZeneca vaccine, which was rejected by the US because it caused blood clot. I said, I don't give a shit. Give me the fucking thing. Boom. All right. I'm going to fucking Cali and I'm going to make Western. And the first thing I did was, after, I was set free, was act in Mr. Nevsky's Western, which is Gunfight at Rio Bravo. And it came out like about a month ago on streaming, Blu-ray, all that shit. And the beauty about acting, number one, I love it. I enjoy it. But the only thing you got to worry about is this. Show up, know your lines, hit your mark, do a good job, go in your trailer, get the paycheck. It's so simple compared to producing, compared to directing, compared to finding financing for a film, compared to shortlisting a film to direct. So for me, acting at this point in my life, I love it. I fucking love it because it's a vacation. It's so easy compared to everything else. So yeah, no, I still love acting very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good question, Jeff.
Yeah.
Even better answer, but good question.
Question was better than the answer, but let's go with that.
Yeah, well, Night of the Wild.
Let's skip that one. Let's move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with the troubles that you had with the film industry, what advice would you give somebody entering it now?
Go into it because it's in your blood and that's who you are. That has to be your prime, your number one motivation. If you're going in the film industry, and I've heard this a lot, and I always laugh at it, especially now with YouTube and all this shit. If you're going in the film industry because you think you're going to be rich and famous, well, I got two fucking things to say to you. Number one, there's easier ways to get rich. And with YouTube, TikTok, and all this fucking drivel, there's easier ways to get famous. If you want to be an actor, a director, a producer, a screenwriter, it's not, your main motivation shouldn't be to be rich and famous. And it was never mine either, to be honest. It's because it's who you are and you need to do it. It's almost like you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice because it's who you are and we only have one life and we're going to die in like whatever the fuck time. Might as well do what you love or attempt to do what you love. So my advice is that, and also remember that talent is secondary. Who you know is number one. So network, network. Go to festivals, go to parties, go meet people, shake hands, be charismatic, make friends.
It's one thing we've always done is network very well.
Yeah, it's key. It's a huge thing. It's a huge thing.
Yeah.
You got to get your face out there.
You just got to, it's who you know. It really is who you know. Who you know is more important than how great you are. Like in terms of any art form, who you know is number one, in my opinion, of course.
Very good. So
I know Leo. I'm just saying.
Yeah. That won't get you far.
Hey, I don't know. 4 years later, we're still rolling.
Yeah, unless you want to come work in the insurance industry.
I'm good.
So, John, you still boxing? You still box regularly?
Oh, see, now he stole my question.
Nice. Not since I moved to California. Not since the pandemic. Before the pandemic, I was. Still going to the gym and everything like that. And then the pandemic happened, but I had my, my bag in my basement, still, hitting the bag, doing some shadow, whatnot, jump rope. Then the pandemic ended and I got here in California and I haven't picked it back up. I also got, I don't know how old you guys are, but I'm in my 40s now, like mid 40s. And, I got a tennis elbow over here. I got a bicep, what was it fucking called? Tendonitis over there. I got, so I'm like breaking apart, which kind of sucks. So, but I still shadow. I don't have any bag around where I'm at. There's no gym. But I still shadow and, do jump rope and stuff.
Okay. All right.
But I enjoy it. And I teach my chicks kid, we hit the pads, throw some hands.
So I'm going to be 60 this year. So trust
for
me
real?
when I say, yeah, for real.
Wow. Okay.
Trust me when I say that bicep tendonitis, be careful of that. And I'm just going to leave that there. After
don't leave
months.
it there. I need some fucking guidance over here, man. I'm fucking curling 5 pounds where, my other hand I'm curling like 50. So any tips, I'm totally open to
I had a life of construction. God knows that.
Yep.
But at 59, 60 years old, you might want to get somebody to help you pick up that 3/4 inch sheet of plywood. Because otherwise you're going to hear a very loud pop. That's my recommendation.
And be in fucking surgery and out of commission.
Don't be afraid to ask for help.
I don't want to do surgery. That's the thing. So I've been doing physio and, obviously I'm not training the biceps. I'm training, the triceps and, but yeah, literally I'm curling 5 pounds, guys. 5 pounds, man.
Yeah.
50 on the other hand.
What I learned about going through that whole thing was that your bicep muscle or any muscle in your body could be as strong as you want to make it, but the strength of the tendon and how it's attached, you have no control over.
Right.
And that's the problem.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. I mean,
because you don't, you don't tear the
Jeff.
muscle, you rip the tendon. Is basically what happens.
Yeah.
And that's
Look at
no
Leo.
fun. So
he's like, what the fuck does this have to do with anything?
No, I remember him telling the story and just like I'm a very visual person and just him.
Yeah.
I remember.
Oh, you remember when I said, "Oh, my bicep was up here under my armpit."
Yeah. Like holy fuck, no.
Yeah. I mean, like John said, you're in your 40s, and this hurts and that hurts. I just turned. I'm going to be 51 this year, and I'm not kidding when I tell you it takes me 25 minutes to fucking stand up in the morning to get out of bed. It's a life of construction. When you beat the shit out of your body doing certain things, even acting,
it catches up.
Because
right?
It does catch up to you. And you can try to stay in shape as much as you want. Like Jeff said, it's just there's certain parts of your body that, tough shit is what it says.
I'll talk to you guys about something after the show. I don't want to put it live, but we'll talk. Let's move on.
Right. But we are here to talk about your kick-ass film that's out for distribution right now called Break.
Yeah.
And this is for all those stoners and people that joined us late because they do that. So we do have permission to play the trailer, and I think we should play it. I think we should play it again.
Go for it, man. I could watch it all day.
I'm looking for the button. Hold on.
Push the button. Push. It's the fucking button. It says trailer.
There we go.
Beautiful lake.
It's the best one I could find on such short notice.
No Wi-Fi?
Come on, we can all do without it for a weekend.
Can I help you? I hope you don't mind. I parked in your driveway. My truck broke down.
Oh, you should just stay here and eat with us. I mean, right, honey?
I used to bartend, and I make a special drink that I know you're gonna love. What'd you put in that drink? I'm really sorry about how this is gonna go down. I'm gonna hurt you. And your mom. A real man would just fess up to his sins.
A real man! Everything okay over there?
Maybe you should let him go.
Can't do.
Too bad.
Stab him!
Let's get this party started.
Nice. Now you said that's hitting the festivals right now. If somebody wanted to see it at a festival, where can they see it?
Well, right now I just played it. It just played at a festival in Wisconsin, and thus far, in complete honesty, there hasn't been another festival locked, but we have offers. So I have one in Philly that wants to play it, so I'm gonna, reach back out. I have one in LA, and so that's where it's at for now in terms of festival circuit. Yeah.
Right. And if you really want to see it, folks, like I do, you're just going to have to follow along with the show notes up above or down below, and you'll know when it comes out.
Yeah. And definitely,
Hopefully.
Follow John because, the name may change. So,
just follow me on Facebook, official John Fallon. That's pretty much, I'm old, so I like Facebook more than like Twitter. Actually, I deleted my Twitter. I can fucking stand that shit. But, I'm on Instagram and I'm on, no, I can't stand Twitter, dude. Although since Musk took over, it's a little bit better. But Instagram, official John Fallon, Facebook, official John Fallon. But my Facebook is really where, you can really keep tabs on me because I'm old. So,
and those are in the show notes. up above or down
There
below.
you go. I can't wait. I'm gonna print out those fucking show notes, man. I can't wait to see them.
Yeah. See, I'm so old. I never even started a Twitter.
Good on you, man. Good on you. You didn't miss
less.
much. You didn't miss much.
No,
trust me. The best thing I ever did was delete that fucking thing. But anyways, let's move on. Yeah.
It's circling the drain anyway, you know.
Right. It's just everybody's just complaining about everything. I just can't be fucked, man. I got real problems.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That I foresee Facebook going down as well at some point. You know, it's every now and then, like all the social medias change. You know, MySpace went to Facebook, and then Facebook, Twitter, and and
it's okay if that happens, because our show will continue on, and you can start to find us at Red Coral Universe streaming live.
I'll check it out.
So even if Facebook goes, we still have platforms to run on, folks. Well, we do. But as a director, you've directed, you've directed a couple of full-length feature films, but you also directed, from what I read, a music video to a hit song called "Gasolina" by Daddy Yankee.
Daddy Yankee, yeah.
How does that differ from doing a music video versus doing even a short? Is there much of a difference? Is it very similar?
No, you're a dick for bringing that up, but no, the process, in terms of, the process is the same. The company hired me, and they wrote, write a script for the music video. I listened to that fucking piece of shit song, and then you show up on set, and you shoot it. The same thing. The guy's singing. You got the hot chicks, the motorcycles, all that shit. So it's it's the same thing as shooting anything. I guess the only difference is that when you're editing, so like, if I'm editing a short film or, Break or The Shelter, I'm editing a film. When you're editing a music video, and if you happen to not care for the song, much like I did not, you got to hear that fucking thing like thousands of times a day. Oop, de la gasolina. I was like, dude, bruh. I was dying. It was rough, bro. It was rough. No offense to Daddy Yankee. You guys, bang up the job. And the song was a hit. So, really happy for them. It was just not my cup of tea. And it was rough in the edit for me, because over and over and over, I felt like I was in hell, a little bit.
Okay. So what is your music taste? What do you like?
I like metal. I mean, Iron Maiden's my favorite band.
Yes.
Okay.
I love Maiden. I love old school Metallica. I love Motley Crue. If I go a bit older, I love Led Zeppelin. I love the Stones, old school Stones. So I'm more of a rock guy, metal guy.
Yeah.
That's just that's right. But I mean, I like some Snoop Dogg. I like some, again,
there's certain songs in all genres that you like.
Yeah,
just like
I grew up on Eminem, and stuff like that. So but I guess like now, I don't know. You guys are all like maybe 40s to near 60s.
Yeah.
Is it me, or there's only hip hop and pop, and that's it? It's like rock went out the fucking window of my tripping balls.
Well, no, that's not necessary. I mean, it has, but
in the mainstream, in the
mainstream, I think it has. But you still have bands like Skillet, Falling in Reverse.
Yeah, I love Skillet.
I like Falling in Reverse. Disturbed.
I love Disturbed as well. Yeah,
Five Finger Death Punch. But as far as mainstream, I do believe you're correct on that. But
like I don't watch the Grammys. Was
the what?
I don't know if the Grammys. It's like music thing.
Right?
I know.
Oh yeah.
I caught the humor. Yeah. Was there one rock band in that fucking thing? I mean, I highly doubt it, personally, but
no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
but they had Beyonce, that's for sure. Yeah.
I mean, I grew up with Led Zeppelin, the Rolling Stones, the Doors, Rush, Bad Company. I grew up during those years. Aerosmith and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Good
it
music.
kind of sets a precedence. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I still, I'm sure you guys are the same. I still listen to old shit. If I listen to music, I think somebody said Disturbed and Skillet. That's pretty much like my ceiling of new shit. Yeah.
Yep.
So otherwise, I'm still listening. Maiden was the first concert I went to see after the pandemic, and fuck, what a glory! Man, God bless these motherfuckers, man. Still got it.
Unbelievable.
Still running around, jumping, giving one hell of a show. It was like, it was a beautiful thing. Yeah. So yeah.
Maiden puts on a fucking killer show. I've seen it numerous times.
Yeah, me too.
The other one that still puts on a kick-ass show, even though he can barely move, is Rob Halford and Judas Priest.
Nice.
I
haven't seen him live in a while, so.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm in that same genre. Everybody just kind of like.
Well, you're 9 years younger than me. I introduced you to a lot of that music back in the day.
Oh well, yeah,
the old school.
My first show was the Moody Blues and the Fix, and that was with you.
Right.
Yeah. And
my first show was Maiden, Seventh Son of Seventh Son tour with Queensryche opening with Operation Mindcrime.
That would have been a fucking killer show.
What an album too. Fuck, forget about it. So
right. Beginning to end, you can't stop listening.
No, you can't. You can't just pick a song and listen to anything on that.
No,
you have
it's a whole story. I
agree.
Yep.
And they peaked. They actually no. I mean, they had Empire, which was still half of a really good album, but they
there was a few good songs.
Yeah, like Empire was a good one, or Jet City Woman, or the one that went mainstream, the Pink Floyd sounding one, Silent Lucidity was a good one too.
Yeah, everybody thinks that's Floyd. It's funny as fuck.
It sounds so much like Floyd, though. It's crazy, bro.
But it's such a great song.
Yeah, it is. But they really peaked on Mindcrime. Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff Tate has an amazing voice.
Oh yeah.
He had an opera. I think if I read correctly, he had an opera background.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know this for a fact.
But we're not here to talk about Queensryche. Yeah, we're not here to talk about Queensryche or Jeff Tate. We're here to talk about John Fallon and his kick-ass movie.
Fuck that guy.
So check the show notes up above, down below, on the fucking side, upside down, wherever they may be. You all right over there, Leo?
Yeah, holding in a sneeze. Sorry.
Let her go, man.
Just let it go right on the camera, so it just splatters the screen. Yeah, fuck it.
My wife thinks I'm extremely strange. I like holding sneezes. It's very rare. Yeah.
Well, if you hold in a sneeze, does it turn into a fart?
No.
No, I was just gonna say, when you hit my age, don't try and do it because you'll get wet.
You'll pee. So we only got about 2 minutes left with this amazing guest. So if there's any questions or comments over in the chat that want to, fire them away. If not, I'm going to turn this over to Leo because Leo likes to do his.
Well, I have one last question before Leo does his thing.
Okay, you going to steal my question again?
He's already stole everybody else's.
I'm not going to steal. That's because I'm on top of it. That's why. So what I want to know is, who haven't you worked with that you would really like to?
Stallone.
Oh, nice.
Okay. That was quick. Boom. You see how fast that was?
Bang right there. Okay.
Yeah. Stallone is the reason of everything. The reason I lifted weights, the reason I boxed, the reason I got interested in writing. My dad, and I love you, Dad, so I'm not busting your balls, but my dad was a bit absentee, if you will, and my role model growing up was Sylvester Stallone. Was a guy that came from nothing, and through hard work and hustling and pushing, made something of himself, and that was my role model growing up. So yeah, definitely Stallone. It'd be an honor to work with that man. He's a genius, in my opinion.
Yeah. Would you box him?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
I could see him pulling a part together for you in Expendables 28. Who
knows? Well, I think I took your joke seriously, but I think he dies. Actually, in my opinion, he'll die in Expendables 4, and Statham's going to inherit the franchise. I think that's what's going to happen. I think Stallone is starting to cap off all of his stuff because he's getting older, So, Rocky's over. Now it's just Creed and Rambo. Yeah. Although I love Last Blood, director's cut. Everybody watch Rambo, Last Blood, director's cut on Amazon Prime. That's the only place I know that they have it, because the theatrical cut in the U.S. was a piece of shit. It wasn't as good.
Oh, you're saying? Back up a second. You're saying the director's cut was a lot better?
Oh yeah, definitely. When they did, Lionsgate did a weird thing. They obviously did not believe in Rambo Last Blood. So right before it's released, they cut out 25 minutes of it. So the whole prologue is gone. They shaved down some of the violence. They shaved down some of the subplot. Yeah. So when I saw it in the cinemas here in North America, because the rest of the world, they got the real cut, the director's cut. Yep. When I saw it in cinemas, I'm like, But then they finally released the cut they released in the rest of the world, which is the director's cut on Amazon Prime. And where it has like the whole opening with Rambo saving these people from a flood, and there's more development in terms of his PTSD and stuff. A much better movie. So if all of you that saw Rambo Last Blood in the cinemas in the U.S. and you're like, well, give the OG cut on Amazon Prime a shot with 25 minutes more, and trust me, it's a much better movie.
Oh, nice. I'm going to do that. Yeah, I saw it. I love Rambo. Me
too.
Big Stallone fan, growing up in the 80s and whatnot, Stallone, Schwarzenegger. But yeah, so this is what, the fifth one?
Yeah.
It was kind of meh. The one before that was friggin' phenomenal.
Yeah, 4 was awesome. In Burma, that
was insane.
Oh, yeah.
The end of that with the 50 cal?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That exploding arrow taking that guy out in the head. Oh my god.
Oh yeah. That was great movies.
Yeah. But I'll give the fifth one a try again.
Yeah, give it another shot.
Nice.
We're here to talk about Break.
Extended cut, by the way, on Amazon Prime. Yes, Break.
Cut. Okay.
Break's probably again gonna come out early next year, in my opinion, just by how distribution is going, the sales and everything like that. And I'm very proud of it, and I hope everybody enjoys it. It has something to say. It's entertaining. It's violent. It goes a bit against the grain in terms of the current social climate, and I'm happy about that. So we need to hear other voices sometimes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
And it has
all right, Leo.
Kevin Interdonato, so another badass.
And Kevin's a badass. Forget about it.
Right.
So,
totally. So last question is, what do you dork out about when you're not making movies? Like, we had Bruce Valanche on, and he's an awesome comedian, but he studies sunken ships in his spare time and stuff like that. So what do you like? What do you dork out about?
Actually, okay, I'll try to make it really short, but my first film, The Shelter, is like supernatural drama with a lot of Christian undertones. It's kind of like the Book of Job if it played like a horror movie. That's my first film, The Shelter, with Michael Pare. And that kind of sent me on my way to explore theology. And my second film was supposed to be this film called Heretic, which is about the Knights Templars, which were soldiers that fought for the church. And Heretic was lined up. I had a lot of money. We were going to shoot in Armenia. And then the pandemic hit, and it hurt us. But then there was a war in Armenia from the Muslims against the Christians, and the Muslims won, and the war happened where all of our locations were locked. So it destroyed the movie and brought it back to the ground. So very long story short, I am completely fascinated with theology, with Christian history, and most definitely the Knights Templars and their history and their path and their contributions to today's society, especially, they were the first bankers. They invented the banking system. So Knights Templars is something I totally geek out on, and Christian history I totally geek out on. And also I love 80s video games, man, and pinballs. I love pinball.
Nice.
So I'm a big pinball guy.
Nice.
So I'm actually going to Dallas this month, the pinball convention. So in Dallas, Texas. So if anybody's there, I want to say what's up. I'm the guy playing, the Dr. No James Bond pinball. So maybe.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I love pinball. Yeah.
You also said 80s video games, Atari or Nintendo?
Yeah, Miss Pac-Man, Space Invaders, Galaga. I like Nintendo too. Super Mario Brothers and stuff like that. Pretty much the whole gamut, really. Rambo 3 is one.
Yes.
I have one of those emulators. So I'm playing Rambo 3 and stuff like my chick's kids. So yeah. So from Atari to Nintendo, Sega, I love that shit. Yeah.
Do you do last question. Do you do MAME?
That's okay.
You mentioned emulators.
That's exactly what I'm doing. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
I have MAME on my TV, but I also have this box. I'm sure they sell them on Amazon. I bought it. It looks like an arcade machine, but I got like 600 games on it, like Donkey Kong and Burger Time and all that shit. So. You know what? At the end of the day, I'll cap it off with this. At the end of the day, I'm a guy in his 40s, and what brings me comfort is going back to the world that I grew up in and loved, which was 80s action movies and horror movies, 80s pinball, arcade, music, everything that I love today in my 40s. The same shit I loved when I was 18, because it's a world that I understand and that I relate to and I connect to. Right now, personally, the world that is set forth before me, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but there you have it. I don't get it. So,
awesome.
To sum it up,
I'll be playing this Pac-Man.
I'll be playing this Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, we'll wrap things up. I want to thank everybody for watching this fine evening. For me, just Google Leo Pine. You find a bunch of stuff. Could be true, could be not. I'm not going to say which is which, but I run the Dorkening Podcast Network. We've got about 40 shows on the network. There's a ton of awesome people doing a ton of awesome stuff. Head on over to thedorkening.com, and you can see all the latest episodes there. And we're going to be doing a live show right after this. So about 9 o'clock, we'll be live again. And I do a couple other shows during the week, Splash Pages, Comics Paradox, Dork Night, all comic related. And so, John, where do you like people interacting with you on social media?
I'm on Facebook and Instagram. So official John Fallon, Facebook, official John Fallon, Instagram. On my Instagram's private because I had a couple of people that were not sane. So I'm kind of protecting myself. But, if you look like halfway normal, I'll let you in. But Facebook is usually where everybody that follows me goes. Yeah. And, of course, follow the Arrow in the Head show on YouTube. Follow Horror Originals, Joblo's Horror Originals on YouTube, and I'll stop plugging. That's enough for now.
Very cool. And you can find those in the show notes up above or down below. Jeffrey.
Oh, am I supposed to talk now?
If you must.
Stilltoking.com. Stilltoking.com or Toking with the Dead on Facebook. We do have an Instagram. We do have a Twitter. I think there's a TikTok too.
And there's a fucking MySpace. But
we do have a MySpace. You should try and find it. I haven't even found that yet. You know what I mean? I have trouble keeping in my own MySpace. But go to stilltoken.com. That's where you're going to find us. And I want to thank John for coming on. What an awesome dude. I would love to really meet you in person just to give you a slap.
I'm down, bro. Anytime.
Awesome. Benjamin.
So like Jeff said, stilltoking.com, you're going to find out everything you want to know about us, from the comic book to the film to the TV series to the novel that'll be out in a few months. That's pretty much it. We want to thank John for hanging out with us tonight, talking about Smash Hit Break. Keep your eyes out for that, folks. And to all our veterans and first responders, we want to thank you for doing what you do so people like us can do what we do. Stay safe. We'll see you next week. We're out of here.
Amen.
Peace.